Now, the Institute of Public Finance, that's IPF, has expressed concerns over Kenya's ability to meet its debt obligation in the event of unforeseen global economic shocks. Now, IPF says Kenya has breached all debt sustainability analysis indicators, putting it at a high risk of debt distress, even as it notes that the country's debt has not yet become a crisis, but could easily turn if the government does not address its expenditure priorities to mitigate against unforeseen shocks. Jimmy Mbogo with the details.
The Institute of Public Finance has painted a rosy outlook for the year, with the GDP growing to 5% thanks to an improved performance in agriculture and service sectors. But the think tank has warned that the country could be slowly sliding into default territory, having raised concerns over the current debt-to-GDP ratio. IPF says the government may fail to achieve the intended ratio of 55% by 2027 from the present value of over 70% due to a slowdown in revenue collection. Kenya's debt interest has also doubled to 28% compared to 14% in 2013-14 financial year, further shrinking the country's fiscal space.
We have breached external debt service to export ratio, our debt service to revenue ratio, our external debt service to revenue ratio. Like, we have breached all those indicators. And what that means is that if we are hit by an adverse shock as an economy, then we are at high risk of defaulting on our international obligations.
With revenue inflows yet to fully recover to pre-pandemic period, experts warn that fiscal consolidation is no longer an option for both levels of government, insisting that debt-funded growth cannot be sustained in the long term.
We don't have a revenue problem. We have an expenditure problem. So if you see we have not met our tax targets, it's because also our forecasting model is still not light. We are very ambitious. So when we set our target for revenue, we set it very high.
We are not likely to achieve much of the development expenditure targets if things remain the way they are. And surprisingly, our revenue underperformance is coming at a time where we have introduced a new tax policy and other administrative reforms.
IPF has asked the government to address challenges faced by the manufacturing sector, such as the cost of production and operating environment, for both job creation and export improvement, without which the institute remains bearish that the FX pressures experienced in the country will persist in 2024, if not worsen. Jimmy Mbogo, Citizen TV, Nairobi.